Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, all my viewers, for all your kindness, mindfulness, support, and the interesting comments, professional comments you leave behind. I'd like to give a shout out to Outcast, and Bianca. They both have a channel. They are really decent, intelligent, kind people. I'll try and leave their link behind. Today I'd like to talk about the Idaho 4. May the victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. Kaylee Gongalvis, may she rest in peace. When Kaylee and the other 3 victims were unalived, and when the police was called 8 to 9 hours later, it depends on which timeline we go by. The previous timeline was 3 to 4 a.m. So that would make 9 hours that nobody called 911. If you go with the new timeline that the affidavit has put out, that would make it 8 hours that nobody called 911. Whether it's 8 hours or 9 hours, that is too long for 911 not to be called, in my opinion. I can understand that the surviving roommates could have gone in a frozen state of shock. But then we have the main witness, DM, who isn't sure of what she saw. She wasn't sure if she was awake or if she was dreaming. Today I'd like to talk about Kaylee, a social media accounts. LinkedIn is one, and her Instagram. I'll try and explain it and break it down in a proper manner, because I've tried to explain about Kaylee's Instagram, but I don't think everyone got it. Let's start with Kaylee's LinkedIn account. Somebody logged out of Kaylee's LinkedIn account. "13 hours after 911 was called on noon the 13th of November 2022. I find that to be a major red flag. Who had access to Kaylee's LinkedIn account is my question. I remember 2 years ago when I was researching about LinkedIn account. I do have a LinkedIn account. Obviously, LinkedIn account is used for job profiles, but it's actually used even for transactions. Did you know that you can make a transaction for $500,000 on LinkedIn account? I find that to be a major red flag. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and nothing else. The fact that you can make such huge transaction on LinkedIn should raise everyone's eyebrows. Was there money laundering going on? Was this about rugs? I'm not saying that Kaylee was into rugs. I'm trying to say, was somebody using Kaylee's account for money laundering? Is the question. Kaylee's sister, Olivia, said that she was driving from where she lives in California. I believe it was LA, Los Angeles. She said, while I was driving to Idaho, where her parents live, she said, I looked into Kaylee's LinkedIn account and it was active the whole time. She said, I spoke to a friend and I was going to show her Kaylee's LinkedIn account. And when I tried to check Kaylee's LinkedIn account, which was active and which was already logged in, she said somebody logged out of Kaylee's account, like literally shut it down. So Olivia said, I called Idaho police and the FBI and asked them, did y'all shut down my sister's account? And the FBI allegedly told her, law enforcement told her, we don't do that, and we haven't done that. But we all are aware that law enforcement can lie to keep the case close to the vest. Obviously, they're not going to tell the parents what they're working on. But I find that to be strange. If it wasn't law enforcement who shut down Kaylee's account, Olivia thought possibly it's LinkedIn, the company itself. So she contacted them. And they said, sorry, we did not do that either. So the question is, if they did not do that, who did it? Was it somebody in the house? Because let's not forget, the cops were not called, 911 was not called for 8 to 9 hours. Shout out to Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia. This is from her channel. She was the one who took the interview with the G family. And this is when Kaylee's sister, Olivia, is showing the phone device and telling us that Kaylee's LinkedIn account was logged out of.
At 11:33 p.m. on November 13th. This is about 19 and a half to 20 and a half hours after the murders, which is alleged to be between 3 to 4 a.m. And this is about 12 hours after the 911 call was made on November 13th. This is less than 24 hours after everything happened. This is very, very strange that her account is active. And this is where it gets weirder. So Olivia, she was shocked when she saw this. She screenshotted it. Then she went to show her friend. And when she went to show her friend, she clicked on Kaylee's LinkedIn profile and it had disappeared. Not available. Her account was literally deactivated and wiped out. The big question is, who was logged into her LinkedIn account and why did they delete it? Literally less than a day after the murders happened. Super, super strange. Olivia was enraged. She told me she emailed Moscow PD and said, why did you delete my sister's LinkedIn account? They responded and said, no, we did not do that. In fact, it's illegal for them to delete any social media profiles. It's illegal. So that brings into question, Were they lying? Did FBI do this? Did LinkedIn delete this?
If law enforcement did not shut down or log out completely out of Kaylee's account, then who did it? I know that the FBI can do it. But law enforcement said it's illegal for them to do it. And I kind of believe in that statement. Because if you look at it, all the other victims' social media accounts are still open up to today, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or other social media accounts. We have seen Emma Bailey and Demetrius, at least Emma Bailey, in this house, coming out of the house on one of the noise complaints. And I've showed you all Bethany Funke's Venmo. And it looked like she was dealing rugs in 2021 to 2022, summer. She could have changed to another Venmo account or to another account, but she was actually dealing in that account because it clearly says need COCAINE, put it behind the Riley's dumpster. Then we have Ashlyn Koch, who I showed you was defending Demetrius and defending Emma Bailey. She said, I speak to Demetrius 3+ times a day. Now imagine calling a random person 3+ times a day, and we know that person isn't a random person. Demetrius and Emma Bailey were involved in the OD, the unaliving of Caden Young. Caden Young was a journalist student doing his final year. Caden Young was the president of the journalist team, and he was unalived 4 months after the victims. I'm trying to dig in deeper to check all the connections between the victims, Emma Bailey, Demetrius, Caden Young, Hudson Lindo, Hannah Clear. I'm not saying that they all have to have a connection, but I find it strange that 7 victims were unalived, whether it was accidentally drowning or whether it was accidentally OD of over-the-counter prescription medicine like Hannah Clear, whether it was a OD like Caden Young, or whether someone was found frozen in Paradise Creek right after a frat party. Delta Tau Delt, that is the fraternity that had the party when Hudson died. And guess what? Jack Showalter goes to that fraternity. So I'm just trying to check all the relations and all the connections here. Why was Kaylee's LinkedIn account logged out of? Who had access to Kaylee's phone? Why was it Maddie, Zana, and Ethan's accounts logged out of? Was there some money transaction? Was there money laundering? Was there something going on with this account? Kaylee did get a job offer. She was going to start working in Austin, Texas. Could it be possible that somebody wanted her job connections or something? But then they could have just wrote down that information. They wouldn't need to log out of the account. So was it the FBI who did it? Is that possible? What concerns me is that you can transfer a lot of money to LinkedIn. I hope the FBI investigated that, because I don't think if Brian Christopher Koberger allegedly did this on unlivings, do we really think that he had time to go into Kaylee's phone device, log off her internet, log off her LinkedIn account, and such things? I don't think so. That's why I believe there were other perps involved. There were other suspects involved. I won't be surprised if one of the surviving roommates, Hunter or Emily, allegedly logged out of the account. Let's not forget these people took 8 to 9 hours to call law and enforcement. Now let me come further into, let me go further actually into Kaylee's accounts. Let's start with DM for a second. November 13th, 2022, 3:33 a.m. Now pay attention, from 2:53 a.m. right up to 3:51, the communication was silent between the surviving roommates. Maddie Morgan called Bethany Funk, one of the surviving roommates, at 2:53. Then everything goes silent to 3:51. So we're talking about like literally 50-something minutes, almost an hour. Within that time of silence, from 2:53 to 3:51, that would be 58 minutes or 57 minutes. Look at what's happening. At 3:33, we have DM who chose to upload this picture on VSCO. I think it's an anonymous app. Apparently, she was taking many pictures with her boyfriend, Quinn Kelly, who says he's never been to Idaho, Moscow, but I showed you all a picture of him entering the sliding door. So he was clearly lying. I find this to be a very sketchy time to be uploading pictures. Maybe that's why they changed the whole timeline to 4:05 to 4:25. Because if they use the correct timeline that they gave us, 3 to 4 a.m., all this will come out from the data. All this has to come out. And then that will clearly prove at 3:33, DM was uploading pictures when the active quadruples was going on. This is all my opinion. Remember, this is only my thoughts, my speculations. I've been following this case, and I've been making dozens of videos weekly from the beginning of this case, researching, paying attention to backgrounds, analyzing, watching what's up, like Said said. All these things that's happening are not normal. Okay, I don't like this picture, the way DM looks at Kaylee. Looks like a sly fox. Hate to say that, just my opinion. This picture does not look right. Now, what is interesting about this picture was it was supposed to have been taken on the 12th of November. She uploaded it on the 13th. I don't understand why Steve G. and Chrissy, Kaylee's parents, say that Kaylee was almost done moving. Look at Kaylee's room. Now, when we pack and we're going to move to another house or another state or another country, we wouldn't have our room so full like that. The curtains are hanging. You have plants. You have the mirrors on the wall. You have pictures on the wall. Kaylee's bed is behind DM, where DM is standing. It's not behind actually, it's on the left-hand side. It has a gray or green quilt or sheet or bed sheet or whatever it is. But what I'm trying to say is Kaylee's furniture was standing. The bed was made. So why did Kaylee decide to sleep in Maddie's room? Was Kaylee scared of the stalker? Obviously, if you're two best friends or sisters or anything, and you know you have a stalker, you would end up trying to be in the same room. Because the paranoia, the anxiousness is really terrible. That's a PTSD itself. So when did she get the chance to upload this picture, DM? 333. What a timing. Sounds like a ritual. Hate to say that. This was the second picture DM uploaded. I've shown you all plenty of times. 333. 333. DM was uploading all these pictures. It was always said that Quinn Kelly, DM's boyfriend, I believe he was driving the black truck that was passing by Taylor Avenue exactly at 3 a.m., allegedly. He lied and said, I've never been to Idaho, Moscow. And yet again, I have a picture of him in August 2022, standing in front of the sliding door. In fact, on his way inside the sliding door, he's standing and talking to DM. Why lie and say you've never been to Idaho, Moscow, when there's evidence, there's a picture trail that shows you've been there, Quinn? It's been always said that he likes to play gangster. He likes to be a little gangster. Was all this pre-planned? Could he be one of the suspects Ann Taylor has in mind? Could Ann Taylor have found out that Quinn was there that night with DM? Allegedly. DM's father said, just a friendly reminder of who is going to show up at the boys' door who messes with one of my daughters. Okay, so my question is, what if one of the roommates messed with your daughter? What were you going to do then? Because it looked like there was an episode in Halloween where your daughter looked like she was being hazed. So could you have taken actions in your own hands? We know that DM's father and Quinn Kelly's father have a lengthy criminal record. What interests me is DM and Jack Showalter attended the same high school. BF has a picture. There's a picture of BF sitting on Showalter's lap. So we have the two surviving roommates who know Showalter. We have Quinn Kelly and his father with a lengthy criminal record, allegedly from Boise, Idaho. Then we have DM's father, who has his own lengthy rap sheet from Boise, Idaho. Do you all see the connections? There's a lot of people. Many of these people are from Boise, Idaho. This is an interesting picture. Quinn Kelly smiling. I wonder if that is in 1122 King Road. We wouldn't know. We've never been there. I wonder if anyone from the college recognizes this toilet. Pay attention to the left-hand side. Down says what it's written. This was once again logged in from Dylan M. 26 is VSCO account. My lover. Okay,